Okay, so we got one window taken out. This was done yesterday, and we ran into some wet wood. See if we can show you in here. This was pretty saturated in between the two layers of fiberglass, and you can see down below in the galley area all that crud that's just laying down there. So what I'm going to do is fill this with a penetrating epoxy. I don't think that's going to seal up very well. Once you try to stick the windows in, it just flexes. There's really not a whole lot to it. So I've already cleaned up the outside ring pretty well. I might take sandpaper and get the rest of the stuff off, but what I use is just this 1-inch wood chisel. I just sharpened, and it takes all the gunk off really well. It's like shaving. You just got to be careful you don't go too aggressive, but we'll hopefully get this back together and maybe better than new. The penetrating epoxy won't be here for probably another week or so, but you can see the outside of the windows are kind of rough shape. Everything just looks pretty bad. So we're going to get that taken care of. Alright, here we have another window we're going to take out. Just start by undoing all the screws along the bottom here. That one's not even in there. Okay. So now the next step is to try to push this out and break the seal on the outside, and we can go out there with the cat's paw, but that seems to have done it. There we go. That's how easy it is, depending on how the previous owner put in the windows, but that's how easy it is to take them out. You can see the damage here. It doesn't look near as bad as the other one. I don't know if you can see that without a light there. This one does have some rot, but not near as bad. So we'll get that penetrating epoxy put in there. That looks pretty solid. Cool. We'll go out and start scraping. Okay, now that we got the window out, we can work on taking off all this old sealant. There actually wasn't that much on here, which may be the whole cause for the leaking window. But I like this 1-inch wood chisel. You can use whatever size you have, but I just sharpened it, and it's just like shaving. It just takes that stuff right off. If you can have a light touch and a nice clean edge, just make your work a lot easier. I got a lot of big projects going on right now, so I kind of hop from one thing to another, just depending on what I feel like working on for the day. I'm still doing the bottom paint, getting that off and the bottom sanded, and I actually use a 2-inch wood chisel to take off the ablative paint, and it comes off real easy. And then I go with 80 grit sandpaper to get what I can't, and then I'll go over it with 220 or 320. Alright, we can sand that, get that finished up. This is actually pretty clean, except for some mildew, mold. Yeah, that looks nice. This one still has some solid wood in between here, so I don't have to worry about it too much. I'll just fill it with that epoxy. The top's got some flexing in it, so see what I can do. The side here. Okay, now that you got your window out and it's still in the frame, we need to take out a couple screws here that hold the frames together. And there's a little metal piece on the inside that holds these two pieces together that the two screws go into. Just short little ones. And you have that on both sides. This gives you a good opportunity to apply tint to the window while everything's apart, or clean them really well. Okay, that's apart. Should just be able to pry them apart once I get my gloves on. There we go. Got lots of moisture on this outer seal between the frame and the cabin. See all that gunk there? Looks like silicone I tried to use. These are the metal pieces I'm talking about here. They just kind of go in there. The screws go in them. And then on this side as well. I don't know what I have going on here. If it's bugs. Yeah, it looks like the mud bugs. Okay, and you can just peel that right off. You see lots of water sitting in there. And that actually just broke. That seal was so crummy. That one. So, get these cleaned up, and once my epoxy gets here, we'll put them all in. Now is a good opportunity to clean everything up. And inside the frames, where it was sitting into the boat there, you can clean that all up with a scraper or chisel, depending on how much 4200 or whatever the last person that put these in used. So this one isn't too bad.